Hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna give you 10 tips that will probably make you slightly better at Phantom Forces, or at least assist you in some specific scenarios. And just as a little note, some of these tips are very base level and should really be used by everyone, so this list is a little catered to new players. But with nothing else to say, let's just get right into it with the first tip, which is a pretty obvious one. Setups. Setup. I see a lot of people simply using bad setups. Like some of you guys pull up with that PBS1 vertical grip G36 and it makes me very confused that a person would even use that. Like, I'm not even gonna say that my setups are the best in the game, but they are certainly more effective than what previously mentioned. So what attachments should you even use? The general quote-unquote good attachments are for barrels, long barrel, muffler, muzzle brake, compensator. For grips, it's stubby grip and folding grip. Sure, there are other grips, but those are the general quote-unquote good grips. For others, it's any laser, extended mag, or straight pull, if the gun has it, obviously. And by the way, don't use extended mag on the Groza 4. And for ammo, you should try to stick with normal ammo, but if an attachment or conversion simply is better for the gun, you should probably use it. But what guns should, what attachments in specific should you use on what guns? Well, I have a whole sheet filled with setups that could be, used by everyone. It's a very general sheet filled with setups that, simply have the more optimal attachments for specific guns. I will put a link for it in the description if you want to check it out. It's complete, it's literally just there. You can use it whenever you want. Alright? But I'm not gonna say that they are the best setups, but as stated before, they're not bad at all. They're just reliable. Next up we have super jumping. Next up we have super jumping, which is probably the most important movement tactic in Phantom Forces. It simply makes you launch up in the air. So how do you do this? Well, you basically just sprint and jump and then press X while you jump. It's really that simple. And if you want to land standing up like I do, you just press the right mouse button while mid-air, or in other words, the aim button. It literally just makes you stand up and it makes you able to start sprinting immediately instead of having to stand up after the super jump. And this could also be used as a sort of diversion tactic, like they will become confused when you jump over them. Like, what are they supposed to do when you're mid-air, like beaming them? Like, what are they supposed to do? But yeah, that's super jumping. Next up, I have a tip for grenades. This is actually one of the most useful features in the game, and it's simply just looking at your crosshair. When you take out a grenade, you will notice your crosshair bouncing. Each bounce is a tick. A grenade has 5 ticks, so when the crosshair is on its 5th tick, it will simply blow up. You can also launch grenades further by super jumping, which I showed you how to do before. But what is useful with this tick thing is that you can actually, predict where your grenade is gonna land and explode. Because it's simply that easy to know when your grenade is gonna explode. You don't have to, wait and basically predict when it explodes without knowing when it actually explodes. Sure, it's pretty easy to have a mental countdown, but sometimes it really isn't that accurate when you could literally just look at a crosshair, The fourth tip we have is general gun knowledge. I know this might seem nerdy and stuff, but it can make you more aware on how you should use a gun. And when I say gun knowledge, I mean general niches and how many bullets it takes to kill with a gun. There are a lot of guns in the game that have specific niches, like special multipliers, like doing more damage to the torso or doing more damage to the head than usual. But how do you check this? It's actually very simple. You just press on the gun you want to check, and then you press on the button that says advanced up in the right corner. That will show you all kinds of numbers, but the thing you want to look for in this scenario are the multipliers. And a few specific guns with multipliers are, for example, 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙧 𝘾𝙤𝙧, M36, MP40, FAL50, and a bunch of other guns. The reason why the 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙧, I always say that the 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙧 4 it kills to the torso. That's why, it has a torso multiplier. It's really that simple, The fifth tip we have is simply just sliding. You get to stuff faster and you become a little snake. It's just that simple. Go around and slide. It might make you look like a tryhard, but who cares? They're the one dying, right? By the way, if you don't know how to slide, you just sprint and press C. Yeah, it's that easy, honestly. The next tip on the list is another simple movement trick, and that is drop-shotting. Drop-shotting is the act of laying down in a firefight. But why is this useful, Oscar? Well, it's simple. It makes your visible hitbox smaller, therefore making it harder for the enemy to hit, and making you giving you a higher chance of winning the fight. You can do this by either pressing the control button or pressing C twice. Yeah, that's just drop shotting. The next tip we have is a little connected to gun knowledge, but it's more exclusive to snipers and it's more of a muscle memory than anything. Learn drop. It's important, and you won't really learn drop by using a ballistic tracker either. It really just makes you dependent on the attachment and doesn't really help at all. So I just suggest practicing by simply using a sniper at longer ranges. It isn't that hard and you will probably get to drop down pretty easily. And by the way, different snipers have different drops. For the example, the intervention has the best drop and the K14 has the worst drop. You can check this as stated earlier by pressing the advanced button and checking its muzzle velocity. If the gun has like 2850 studs per second muzzle velocity, that's good. If it has 3000, it's really good. If it has intervention muzzle velocity, which is 3200, it's extremely good. Alright, it isn't a huge difference. As seen by the footage here, it is some difference. Alright, next up we have wall bangs. Please don't be afraid to shoot through walls if you have guns more powerful than SMGs, since I think most of you don't know this. Bullets simply do not lose damage through walls. It's very weird, but it is what it is. And most guns that has over 1 stud's penetration can shoot through a large myriad of different obstacles. Even relatively thick walls shown in this footage right here using the M6 and A3. But be aware that stuff like SMGs don't really go through anything, except like MP7 and P90, and you should really avoid trying to shoot through anything with them, since you will just waste bullets. And one last thing is that you should really try abusing wall banging when it comes to high penetration guns such as LMGs or battle rifles or DMRs or specific guns like the MP7 or P90. You will be surprised on how many walls they go through. And oh yeah, the 50 BMGs can basically go through everything. It has 10 studs penetration, it's insane. But now we're basically coming into an end with the 9th tip, which is reload cancelling. One of the most simple things you can do, and it can be life-saving in some scenarios. So, have you ever died while reloading and still have the bullets in your magazine? Reload cancelling will probably save your life. You cancel your reload by literally just pressing the left mouse button, or in other words, the shoot button. It's literally that easy, and now you can shoot them, alright? The last tip I'm gonna show you guys is that high FOV is simply better than low FOV, objectively too. And why is that? Because of the fact that all aim down sight FOV is the same, and no matter what you change your look FOV to, means that higher FOV is better in almost all scenarios, because you can simply see more. You can simply see more. It's that simple. Okay, I think we're gonna end the video here. If you found these tips helpful, subscribe, buy my merch even if you don't have any, and a special thanks to Melody, also known as 𝙎𝙖𝙧 on YouTube, for helping me give some tips here. I appreciate it, and helping me with some footage in the video. I appreciate it a lot. So if you enjoyed the video, press the like button and buy my merch even if you don't have any, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you, love you.